Okay, thank you, Carol. Okay, so what I'd like to do is just kind of just go through each of you very, very quickly, just to get a sense of the space that you're in. I could see what's you and what's behind you. So Carla, since I haven't spoken with you yet, I'm going to start with you. Just kind of, I'm in this room. I've got a window on this side. I've got ceiling lights over here. I've got a bathroom door over here, just to get a sense of your space.
I'm in my office. There's a door to my right. There's a window to my left. I've got cabinets behind me. I've just repainted my office. I'm going to be putting up my art. My intention is that I'm going to be spending, when I'm not traveling, I'll be spending time here.
Okay, and what color would you call the paint color on your wall?
It's like a gray, so
Okay.
light gray.
And is that the artwork that you're planning to put up?
One of the pieces.
Okay.
I can show you that.
Okay.
So.
And are those real flowers behind you?
Yes, they are real flowers.
Lovely. Okay. All right. Thank you. And you don't have a window in front of you. It's on your left.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you for that.
And I don't know if this is, you need this, but I'm also attempting when I'm in the office, in my office, to use a larger screen, and I'm working with my colleagues to figure out how to best use a Zoom so that it captures it sufficiently. Because right now, my camera and my lights are solely for my laptop. Does that make sense?
Yes. So you want to get you have a bigger screen and you want to get a better camera, is that it?
Right, I'm looking, I mean, I don't know if it's applicable here. It may not be in this discussion, but I'm working out how to utilize my camera and the lighting with a bigger screen as well.
And do you have a camera, a new camera?
What I'm using right now is a camera. It's a little challenging because it's designed for a laptop, not a bigger screen.
Okay, because you're positioned well, but we'll talk about the angle.
Okay.
All right, Lucinda. So I'm going to zoom in on you now. So when you speak, I'm getting bigger view. So tell me a little bit. Give me a little bit of the tour of the set you have.
Okay, this is a close-up shot, and then if you could do a larger shot. That's a larger shot where we can stand up and walk around and things like that.
Hold on, okay. Okay, lovely space.
And then, do you want to see a bird's eye view?
I'm just taking it in right now. So do you always I'm going to take a screenshot of this just so I have this. Do you always use this angle?
No, we have many shots. Can you show the shot when there's two people? I have some change of clothing in the no, not that one. That's when there's two people. That's where Peggy usually sits, right here where my clothes are.
Okay.
So it's the same thing on both sides. And then if there's, do you want to show the bird's eye view? So that's the bird's eye view if we come out and we do, what's that? Yeah, we go like this. This is the bird's eye view where we see our participants, okay?
Okay.
And then do the close-up view of side by side. So side by side, this would be, I'd be over just a little bit like this.
Great setup.
And looking at the camera there.
And in front of you, I wasn't clear. So in front of you, I see that there's monitors up above, and then you have were they three lights, a big light with two lights on the side?
There's two lights there, then we have these lights here.
What is the big rectangular piece between the lights?
Okay, could you do the bird's eye view and I'll show you? So this right here is usually our slides. So we can see what the participant sees. And depending on how many people we have in a program, there might be you can do 49 per screen. So you do 49 here, then there's 49 here. And usually this screen over here is what the participants are seeing. So we can see what they're doing, okay?
Got it. Okay.
Or we can see exactly, do that again so you can see her on there.
Yeah, I
So
saw that.
Shelley, so you can see yourself there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what most people can see on the Zoom.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and here's the thing, right now, if you look,
And can you point where a couple of cameras are? If you go back up?
there's one camera here,
Yes.
and the camera that's looking right here too is right here, right there.
Okay. And that's
the
it?
camera.
Are
Yeah,
those
and then bird's eye, the one that's over here.
right? Okay.
Yeah. And then we have, windows over here that have their shades down so they don't affect the lighting. And then we have these super bright lights up here that that make those amazing shadows on my glasses. That I
Okay.
hope we will fix. See, look at that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks like,
So like the one thing that I observed from before you even showed me your setup was that your eyes were dark and the corner,
Exactly.
the corner of the room on the plant is dark. So you have this
Yes.
beautiful plant, which would really be better off lit up. And I even feel even your backdrop to be a little bit better lit up because it almost gives you the appearance that you're in a darker room. You know,
And
darker
I have a
studio
white
space.
jacket and another jacket too. Can you put the lights up a little bit in the back? Yeah.
And also, I see that the lights that are in front of you are coming up a little bit.
Yep.
As opposed to down.
Yep.
So when they're down, it'll light your face up better. And you also even have hair shadows and things like that. So
yeah, we need to work on that.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this was a great tour. Great tour of your setup. So
Yeah.
that was
Because
great.
see, right now it looks like I have like a mustache going straight through my glasses like that.
Right.
To me. And I'm glad you pointed it out because I'm glad it's not just me who thinks that.
Right. Because when you're talking to people, especially if it's just you, sitting there on the set,
Yep.
they need to be able to look at your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
If I'm speaking right here, this would be normally I'm speaking into the camera, speaking to Shelley right now. And so that's what we've got to fix.
Right. So it's dark,
Yeah.
kind of in the
Yep.
middle section of your eyes.
Yeah.
And also, even if there's a light behind you to give a little bit of perspective that there's a mid ground to also, because you have blonde hair, it'll help highlight like your hair. It'll separate you. Is that backdrop purple?
It's gray, and show them what it looks like with the yellow background. We have a lot of lights. We can do a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
Like there's another background, that's pretty. That's kind of pretty. This is yellow when we do something with Lumeri.
Oh, uh-huh.
And we can do the intensities. We can go up and down with the intensities as well.
Okay. The yellow is nice with your hair. And you said Peggy's often the other person there?
Yeah, Peggy's often sitting right here.
Okay, but Peggy, you're blonde as well. The yellow is very nice for both of you, since you're both blonde. Just to put that out.
Could you do the close-up of me there so you can see? So I'll look at the camera there.
Yeah.
And that can you raise the intensity of it to them, please?
Right, so like you would probably want a light that's shining behind you. So there you could actually like see a little bit of space between you and the back wall. And it'll also help kind of shine your hair up a little bit.
You mean if there's a light, could you, Annabelle, take the light over there and put it back here and see if that's what she's talking about?
So a light that's literally between the back of your head and the back of the wall. Like Like,
Yeah, that's on the floor back here. Yeah, I guess the problem's gonna be when we do our big shot where I'm standing up. But let's just see what it looks like with the light, because we have like versatile lights there. So here's a light coming in the back. Like that, make it a little brighter.
well, it'd be nice if there were one on each side. One like down by the plant side so that they actually kind of cross over behind you.
Yeah, okay. Can we make these lights up here less? Yeah, that's
Okay.
what does the shadow on the.
Okay, all right, let's come back to this, but this was kind of just a.
That's an overview. I don't want to take too much time with this, but it's important.
Yes, right, I know it's important. So, okay, I'm gonna move on. So Richard, I didn't forget about you. So you are, is this your home office?
Yes, it is, but I'm not sure it makes too much sense concentrating on it because it'll probably be like this for a couple of months, but I hope to be moving around quite a bit. So we can spend a short amount of time, but it's going to change, I think.
Right, your sound is not very clear. Is your sound, can I ask everybody else, is his sound always a little bit muffled?
Yes.
So it goes up and down, I think. And it's
Generally?
muffled.
Okay,
I've had particular difficulties today with Zoom, actually, to be honest. So, yeah, today of all days, I've had problems getting on. I'm coming through the web link versus straight in at the moment. That's perhaps why it's more volume. The audio is a bit scratchy.
yeah, actually, we're kind of missing out like every 10th syllable. So it's a little challenging to hear. Do you have a microphone?
Yeah, I do. As I say, I think my setup, I need to sort of get my setup checked because today I've had problems. Normally it's fine.
Okay, there seems to be a lot of bass coming through. So it's almost like the bass is reverberating a little bit.
Right.
But so let me just pin you so I can actually see. Okay, so what is that behind you? Is that a cabinet with some drawers behind you over your
Yes.
right shoulder? And are you sitting at a desk?
I am, yeah. I'm looking out of the window onto the garden, and behind me that's a filing cabinet, and this is the doorway out of the office. This side is a bookcase. Over to my right, there's a just a sort of lounger here.
Okay. Okay, so the lighting is good. I just wanted to get the setup. Okay, let me go to, so Peggy, the space that you're in, which is your temporary space, although, you know, I can't remember who said that they actually like this space. I guess it's a little bit challenging. So I guess just we'll talk about like concepts that you can apply, you know, for other spaces. But how long are you going to be in this space?
3 days.
Oh, 3 days. Okay. All right.
But I will be back. I will be back. This is my home. This is my home in Denver. This is my bedroom, actually. But it goes out, and if anybody's in there, you can hear everything. So that's why I go to another room.
Oh, I
Hey,
see.
Peggy, you know what you could do though? If you're at a desk that's facing a wall, if you move the desk out and got on the other side, then your light would be at your face. That would be interesting to see. It'd be easy to do, and you could see every time you're at home in that place and you need that to do, you would know how it looks.
It's not so easy to move. There's a lot of stuff that I'd have to move right this second. I couldn't do it right now.
Okay.
Because sometimes when people are in a situation like that, because exactly, I was thinking the same thing. If you have faced the other way, you would have the light on your face and you wouldn't have quite all the the open space behind you that's kind of cavernous. So if you're generally working, or maybe if you're on a Zoom call, you have a small little table behind you. You turn around, you could have your Zoom call on this table behind you, and then, you know, you have your desk that you're working at as your desk.
Yeah.
Because the light coming from the other side is so lovely that my guess is the light would really be beautiful on your face, that you almost wouldn't need any additional lighting at all. So right now, do you have one light on your left? You're on mute.
I do.
Okay, and nothing on the right.
No,
And in your office, what's your setup?
it's a contained room, doesn't have any windows. I
And
mean, it has 2 doors.
do you have 2 lights?
Yes, I have lights. Actually, art lights in the room.
So they're on the
There's a
ceiling?
lot of lighting. Yeah, there's a lot of lighting. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to Amy. So where are you? Do you have an area that you are generally on Zoom calls at?
I'm probably one of the folks in the company who travels the most. So I'm mostly on the road. And so I'm excited for this conversation because I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of Lucinda. I'm always needing to quickly get myself set up in an unfamiliar spot for a Zoom call.
And where are you at this moment?
Right now I'm in a one of those, it's like a WeWork, you know, one of those shared office spaces right outside of the airport.
Okay, gotcha.
So I
Okay,
have a little travel camera, which I don't love. I would love an upgrade on it just because the angle's funny, and I have a travel light, but I'm sort of most eager to learn tips to be able to just get myself set up on the fly.
okay. All right. So one of the things that I see, thank you for kind of giving me the, you know, the lay of the land. You know, it really kind of helps me, so I kind of have a direction. It seems to me that everybody has a good camera angle. So one way to just kind of measure yourself is, sometimes I say, take your hand, squish your fingers together, put it on top of your head while sitting up straight. Don't scrunch down. So if you do that and you have a couple of fingers gone and a couple of fingers in the box, you're at a good spot, because you want your eyes at the top third of the box. So Carla, you might want to bring your camera down just a tiny bit. Yeah. So it's what I'm aiming for. So it feels like we're just sitting on the other side of the table having a conversation. You know, it's easier when everybody's level. And Peggy? Yeah. And on the bottom of the box, for the women, you don't want your bust at the fullest part. So like Lucinda, I'm sure your camera angle, you're on mute.
Sorry to interrupt, but Richard, I don't know if Carol told you, Richard can only be on for the first hour. So I would love to go to Richard and see if there's anything that else you do, because he's going to pop off in 30 minutes. Right, Richard?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So Richard, I'm going to pin you over here. So, all right. So the lighting on your face is good. To me, one of the things I try to do is eliminate distractions. And for some reason, there's a couple of things going on behind you that I would change. One, that you have one lonely pillow on your sofa that I would remove, and the artwork on the wall behind you, you've got 3 odd pieces that are there. And so I don't know what is important to you, what's not important. Can you give me kind of a quickie? Because it's not symmetrical. Like my eye goes to like, okay, we've got 3 artworks and then the file cabinet, which is kind of off center. And I keep looking at it going, what is that? What is that? What is that? And so,
I can move them. It's not an issue. If that works, I don't know actually what's behind them, to be honest. But I can move them. Same with the filing cabinet as well. I can move that as well.
okay, so here's what I envision. If the filing cabinet, I would move all the way over, well, as you're looking at it, all the way over to the left. And I would love to see a lighter green, sizable plant behind you. What would be over your right shoulder instead of this filing cabinet. I think it would lighten the room up, it would brighten it. You know, plants always calm us down. So you've got these dark walls, you have dark walls and kind of dark pieces behind you. And so I am going to show you something. Give me a moment. I'm just going to get something lined up to show you. Especially since you're in the UK. So something along these lines. So this happens to be like a 4-foot plant. So, and notice it has lighter green leaves. I think that would be a little bit more welcoming. You don't want anything with dark green. You want lighter green to capture some of that lightness and give a little more depth to your space. And I would move the file cabinet over. Does this make sense?
So the file cabinet over, so it's generally behind me, it's symmetrical with where my body position?
No, more the other way, away from the door.
Okay, that way.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Even if only part of the file cabinet shows.
In the corner. Okay.
Yeah. And then I would put this plant, so the plant is kind of over your right shoulder, partially over your right shoulder, partially next to you.
Okay.
So this is a 4-foot. Let me stop sharing. How far behind you is the wall?
About 14 foot.
Oh, so it's quite a distance away. So it maybe you'd need like a 5-foot plant there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it would, you know, can you take the pillow off the sofa?
Sure.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'd keep the pillow off the sofa. I think that's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's actually got a lot of paperwork on there at the moment. So I would normally shift all that, obviously, but.
And is it possible? So one of the things I see is you and this big sofa. I'm wondering if you could angle your camera a little bit away, or maybe can you move the whole setup to your right? So
You mean, is that all right?
yeah, just so there's not so much of this white sofa. So go back a little bit. Nice bookshelf, by the way. Yeah, just, no, I don't think I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. I see what you're working with. But that's what I would suggest. Also the I'm looking at the artwork on the wall. I would definitely suggest getting a plant, and then it looks like there's a triptych of 3 kids' pictures. I don't know if those are your children.
Yes.
I guess that's where that works. It's balanced. But that's, I think, initially what I would suggest. Also, you have a little bit of a glare on your forehead on the front.
Okay.
So it's 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon. And what direction is your window facing?
It is facing west.
So you get the late afternoon sun, if there's sun.
A little bit, yeah. A lot of trees, a lot of cover outside. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the lighting is good. And so lastly, just to kind of talk about like kind of my 5 steps. So color clothing. I would perhaps wear, I'm not sure that the gray is a great color, this lighter gray combination
I
of
wouldn't,
great color.
this is coming straight out of the gym, so I wouldn't normally be wearing this.
Okay, all right. But you probably do not want to wear a dark color either.
Right, because of the background.
Right, because you have dark walls. So I often say no white, no black. So you definitely wouldn't, do you ever wear white?
Tend not to.
Okay, all right, good. Medium, medium, brighter colors are good, blues are good. I would stay away. Do you ever wear patterns, like larger patterns?
Not on calls, no.
Okay, good. I would stay away from that as well. As
Okay.
is changing out of her black and white. Yeah, so that,
Hey, Shally,
Yeah.
can we try have it, because see the top of the ceiling shows and he's got a lot of space above his head. Can we try eliminating the white streak across the top and see what it does? Do you like that better?
yeah, I like that better. The dark bookshelf is so dark. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, one thought I had, and I don't know how important it is. Richard, on your camera, do you have the option to make it a narrower view? You could have a wider view or a narrower view.
To be honest, I don't know. I can have a look. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Because if you could have a narrower view, then it would actually be better, because that dark cabinet on your right is pretty as it is. It's like this black presence that is kind of this looming black piece on the right side.
Right. I'll have a look.
Okay. But I definitely think the plant would be nice. And if you chose to get some pillows, no, I'm just looking at your sofa. I would just keep it without anything on it.
Okay.
One of the things that you can do is, it's kind of a funny little thing. So this is for everybody, and only because I'm talking to Richard. Do you ever take calls that would be nighttime for you?
Lots.
All right. And do you have lights?
I have lights, but it's not ideal. You see Lucinda shaking her head.
I see. All right. So I am going to share with you, this is for everybody. Give me a minute to find lights. Okay. So here are some light options for everybody. Peggy, for you, and I'll because I definitely think you need a light on the right side of your face. So let's see, who has glasses? Everybody except let's see.
Amy, everybody except Amy.
Amy, that's my name, the name, thank you. So if you have glasses, you want to have lights on left and right. And so let's just take a look at this picture here. So take a look at the clock. I have the hands on the clock are 10 and 2. That's how you want to position your lights. If you wear glasses, Linda, this doesn't necessarily work for the space that you're in, but everybody else. Lucinda, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Linda,
Oh, Linda.
that's my husband's first wife.
Oh, ooh, won't make that mistake again.
Okay.
So position your lights at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and notice where this particular ring light is. It's a little bit higher than her eyes, looking angled downward. So by angling it downward, you actually don't get, it softens the light on your skin, and also you don't get the glare in your glasses. So Amy, I'm thinking, what's your traveling light?
What is my, I have one that looks a little bit like the one in that picture there.
On the
When
left?
no, the one on
You
the
have it-
desk.
Do you have it with you that you can show her in your camera?
Is it
Yeah,
Does-
hold on.
is it-
I'll unplug it and come back. It's almost identical to what that one is on the desk.
on the desk?
Mhm.
Okay, because that's a 6-inch, which is a relatively new size. 4-inch has been the norm. Another one that's, if you can hear me, is the one on the left, which is a 4-inch ring light. Quite often they come with a clip, so it's really mobile. But
That's great.
But this one on the left, the reason I actually have the little word new on it is because all of a sudden they come on a small stand, and it's really great. It doesn't have a clip. You don't have to clip it to your desk, to your computer. You literally, it just takes up a small area on your space, which is great for people who have small spaces and who are traveling.
That's great.
It has the gooseneck. So it comes, it has warm, neutral, cool. And I'm going to show you a little trick to amend some of the coloring, which I think, Richard, you can use. Let's see. So Amy, I'm just going to show you, this is another light that's a really great light, that's great for traveling as well, especially because you do not wear glasses. So this is the Lume Cube. It's battery operated. It has a suction cup, and you can see it sets on your computer, on your monitor. You have the option to buy a tripod stand to put it on. And so this is really great for traveling for everybody, if you have a quick setup that you need. And it has also warm, neutral, cool settings, but this is not good if you wear glasses. So here's one of my Uber tricks that
Shelley, hold on. What do we do if we do wear glasses? Because most of us wear glasses here.
Oh, so that's why I said you'd want to have lights left and right?
No, but travel, I'm talking travel.
Well, you can have, say, a ring light, but you might want to have 2. Or you could have the Lume Cube that is on the tripod, but it's relatively low. It's not going to be higher up. But if you wear glasses, you really want light on left and right of your face. So like I've got 2 lights on either side of my face, but I don't have any glare in my glasses because it kind of passes over my face. I think one of the things that's really super distracting is if you do have glare in your glasses. You know, people, they just can't get around it. They can't look into your eyes without like being distracted by the glare.
Shelley, I'm just thinking realistically, traveling, right? We're not going to bring a huge amount of equipment. So that's what you're saying, bring 2 lights, and you know, that feels like a lot of stuff. So can you make a specific recommendation that would be easy to travel with?
If I were to do the easy recommendation, I would get the Lume Cube and make sure you get the tripod with it.
And
So the tripod, you could actually put it on your desk. Again, it's not very high, but it doesn't take, it's really compact. And
Shelley, I have 2 Lume cubes that I can put on either side, and they do come with their little stands. So that's super easy.
yeah, and they don't take up a lot of space. They are battery operated, so you need to make sure that you're charged.
And Shelley, say the name of them again, or can you go back and show that?
Nikki, we can get the specs to you.
Shelley, I have 2 Lume cubes that you just plug into, their USB charged.
Oh, yours are USB charged. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the Lume Cube.
Okay.
And then the round one, you said it might be possible to have 2 of them, like you said, the UV size 4.
Right. So actually, I think the 6-inch is better.
But that's not for travel.
Not for travel.
Okay.
Right. Because sometimes the 4-inch isn't quite enough light, especially if you have like an evening or early morning call, or, you know, I mean, now we're going into summer, so the days are a little bit, you know, they're longer, yay. But sometimes the 4-inch isn't enough, and the 6-inch. This one on the right has the stand is extendable up to 50 inches. Those are 2 different brands, the Fontrest and the Air, that you can use, that you can get. You know, if you go on
back here, are those up there? So
if you do go on Amazon, you know, one week they have this brand and the next week they don't. So that's why I have 2 different brands, because like, oh, maybe they don't have it this week. You know, they're waiting for their shipment from China. So, Amy, did you have a question? You're on mute. Okay. Okay. So how do you create? So I think this is my cheap and easy hack. I use fuchsia and bright yellow Post-its, and I put them over my lights, because sometimes you get your light and you look like you've got a white light on your face. And so this is, I'm gonna just show you, this is my light. So I take my Post-its and I put it over the light. And as I'm a color consultant, so by combining these 2 colors, it actually creates a peachy color. And so you look more natural. You don't have that grayed look, that washed out look. So this actually is that light today, you know, and I have them and I could flip them up. I can, you know, change them around if I feel like there's a little bit of extra pink light coming in from the outside. So to make your skin look more natural, you know, you want to look as healthy as possible. And I have other lights, and they all have either white paper or fuchsia or yellow Post-its. Easy, cheap, changes the color to skin tone. So Amy, like for example, you know, looking at you, you know, you have a, you know, a little bit of a washed out look just from the lighting. So it softens it, and, you know, it makes it easier to feel like you're just sitting on the other side of the table. Any questions? This is kind of my cheap and easy hack. You know, sometimes there are certain
I
lights.
love that hack. I think it's fabulous.
Thanks. You know, there are some lights that you can buy, you know, that I even recommend that have red, blue, and yellow. But, you know, that's like stage lighting. You know, it's, you know, you don't want to be red, you don't want to be blue, and you don't want to be yellow. So this, this little combination is cheap and easy. Any questions? So it looks like Richard left us. Yes, okay. Just making sure I have everybody. And oh yes, okay. Okay, so we talked about a little bit about camera angle. You want the camera, you're all good, camera straight out in front. Any lighting questions? Carla?
I have a light I just bought. Maybe I should get a different kind of light, but this is the.
Yeah, that's really good. That's not really a zoom light. I would definitely recommend, I don't know, Carol, if you're taking notes.
Taking notes, yes.
So Carla, I would definitely recommend, because you do wear glasses, getting 2 lights that come on across you. And I would really recommend the 2. I don't know how big your desk is. How big is your desk?
I think it's 5 feet.
And you have the window on your left.
On my left.
So that, and what direction does that window face?
That the sun comes in on the east.
Oh, so you get the morning sun.
Mhm.
So in the afternoon, okay. Yeah, I would probably, I'm a big fan of really lights left and right.
Mhm.
At least for your home setup.
Mhm.
Sometimes I think it would be easy to have for you to have like a 6-inch on your right that's more stable. And if you could even get like the 4-inch that is more, you could use to travel, on your left, because you don't need as much light coming in on your left. But it doesn't take up much space. It has the gooseneck, that you can
Mhm.
fold in half. But by having light left and right, we're eliminating the shading distractions.
Okay.
So it just really feels natural. Any other questions on lighting?
Okay, Kelly, so when I'm home, get 2 of the either with the 2 that you recommended on both sides, 10 and 2, right?
Correct.
And then traveling the Lume Cube with a tripod. And where would that be in front? Would that be to the right or the left? Where would that go?
Well, depending upon what your setup is.
That's true.
If you're at a hotel desk, which is probably where you might be, although you might be in the lobby or something, right, wherever you are. You could actually, the Lume Cube, you could actually suction to the backside of your computer if need be, but chances are the light will be in your eyes. If you have the tripod, I would try to set yourself up at, if you're at a hotel desk, hotel room desk, light on like the hotel desk light on one side and put your Lume Cube on the other side. You might want to try to raise it up if they have anything in the room to raise it up, because chances are the tripod on the Lume Cube is about here. And if you can ideally raise it up, I don't know, some books, put your suitcase, I don't know what, whatever, something underneath it to raise it up so that it's angling down a little bit. That's the ideal situation. It's going to always be an ad hoc, every time you're doing that. Does that answer your question, Peggy?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Lucinda?
Lighting in the studio later.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Are we working on the lighting in the studio later?
We can do that right now.
Okay, because we've improved it quite a bit since we started, you can see.
Okay.
Tell me what you think of this right now.
This right now that I'm looking at?
Yeah.
I really, really like the yellow jacket better.
Mhm.
Turn your face to the right a little bit. Other way. You're right. You're right. You're right.
My right, okay.
Okay. um, yeah, I still think you need some more lighting coming down onto
Yep.
your face. And I'd love to have even a little more lighting on your, on your head, coming down on your head to light up your hair. Because what happens that the lighting is not as bright around your hair. And so it's really bright on your chest because it's coming from a lower spot in front of you. So if you had a little more light coming from above, it would be, I just see a little bit of a change.
Yeah, they're moving all the lights around. I think, yeah, I think those up there are the ones making the shadow across here, those up there.
So
But
that's a
they're
little,
they're trying different things. This is important because we do our programs from here. So it's important that you say everything that you see because we, now's the time.
yeah. So now you have a little more glimmer in your hair, which kind of gives your face, but it's only glimmer on your left side. It's still a little dark on the right side. And I'd really love maybe even some more lighting on your backdrop, because
Could you do that?
it seems to be very dark. I see that you were changing it from blue to purple to yellow, but if that could be a little bit more illuminated, because you feel like you're in this dark studio. And I know we also talked about getting some light on that green plant, and that'll give a little more depth as well.
Yeah.
Not loving the gray behind you. It seems to wash you out. Do you wear bright blues?
I can.
That's a good color for you. Bright, kind of almost like what Amy and I have on, a brighter blue.
Yeah.
Are really good colors for you. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but anyhow, so that's kind of my suggestion on lighting, just kind of get some more of it coming from the upper area, shining on the back wall, on the plant. And I like that your hair is just a little more illuminated.
Could you go to the wider shot and see? That's what that looks like.
Oh, so it looks like you've got a spotlight on you. Oh, coming from.
Yeah, that's what when they put that light up to light up my hair, that's what happened.
Is there a gel that you could put in? Do you have a color gel?
Do they have, yeah, they can change the colors, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a gel, but they can do it. They can do it inside the light. Like they just changed it to blue right now.
I have noticed, this is Carol, when, Lucinda, you have the close-in shot, the lighting adjusts for that and it's darker. So when you in the zoomed out shot, you're much brighter.
Mm-hmm.
And you're almost too blown out, in my opinion, now because you've adjusted for the close-in shot.
Correct. Although her face is better lit in this shot, but there's just a little bit, too much light. I don't really like the blue light, the blue tint. It washes you out. It also turns your jacket a little more on the green, a little more chartreuse color.
You mean the purple in the background?
No,
purple?
I don't see any purple.
No, I meant when you said blue, were you referring to the purple background before, or is there blue you see now?
No, I don't see any blue now. Oh, didn't you say on the light that they put on your face coming up from your left?
It's warmer now. It's warmer now.
It's warmer now. Yes, that's better. Yes.
Yeah.
So your skin tone looks more natural this way.
Could you put the close-up shot too then? Okay, so for this, for me, oh God, it just
Right.
looks like a, I can't see without my glasses, so I can't really see what it looks like without it, but it just looks like a mustache across my face there.
Yes, it is. You just need, do you, like you've got the two big lights lower down, you just need more lighting up above, shining downward.
Okay, we need some more lights. We have,
Uh,
yeah, it's all above me now, the lights. Yeah. Make these go as strong as you can, these ones up here. The three up there, strong as you can.
And are these lights that are like high up? Looking down?
Could you do the bird's eye view so she can see what we did, please?
I'm going to show you.
Okay, so can you show the shot where that you would see the lights? Okay, so this right here used to be over there. So there's that one there. Then they put the other one back there. And then there's another light just like it right here and back here over there.
All right, so that tall light that I would purchase a couple more of those.
Of these bigger lights here.
Yeah, that's
And put
exactly
them
what I would.
over there on this side, because these ones, could you do the close up here?
So by
And they put
purchasing
them-
a couple of more, some more of those, you would then you would have light really kind of coming from all different angles. And then you won't
Yeah.
have the shadows.
Right.
And I
And then
think,
there's this up here in the back, that might be able to go more this way too. You know, because that's, I mean, we could play with it and see. Okay.
but I think that's what you need. You just need more lights coming at you from different angles. It'll get rid of the shadows, get rid of the mustache, the mustache across your eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that would, and then even some uplights on again on the plant, and also the back wall. It would be nice if it were just, I see, you know, it changes colors, actually a very cool back wall. But it always looks like you have this dark background behind you.
Yeah. So, well, when we do the out, so that's lit up a little bit more. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So like the brighter it is, the better. So over your right shoulder next to the logo, it's much brighter. And you could see going to the plant, it just kind of fades into this dark, this darkness.
And we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Okay. Okay, and then now do the back out shot. And yeah, it looks kind of uneven, yeah.
Yeah, so you look spotlighted. So it's almost like your middle torso looks like you've got this giant spotlight on you.
Yeah, so we'll have to play with that quite a bit to see how we do the lights out here, to do it for the close shot and the far shot, because we go back and forth and back and forth.
And sometimes what works is if you have crisscrossing lights, you know, crisscrossing from up to down, you know, cross each other, you know, then it's not this spotlight only generating directly at you straight on.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Another thing that I would do, this is a very small little thing, your beautiful yellow orchid.
Yeah.
I would not have it centered on the logo.
Yeah.
If it's just you,
Someone move that.
I would move it closer to you.
Okay.
Can you zoom back in so it's what it would look like? And what is that on? Is it on a little table, a stand?
It's on a table that can move. Yeah.
Bring it a little closer to you.
Could you go flip one?
Okay, let me go back, zoom back in. Right, zoom back in. So if that could be, so if this were your, this is the shot that you're speaking to people on for the day.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
raise those flowers up about 5 inches. So a little bit more is showing,
And closer to me.
and a little closer. Yeah, like that. They don't all have to show, just a little bit. And then what happens, there's 2 things that'll happen. You're going to create a visual diagonal that people will focus in on. You'll have the flowers on the bottom, over on this side, your eyes in the middle. And once the plant is lit up, that'll be a third focal point. So you'll have this almost like a tic-tac-toe of people to be able to bullseye in on your face.
Yep.
As
And
opposed to like just the darkness, the dark background, because you'll have the light on the plant, the yellow flowers, and then your glasses, and it's like a little tic-tac-toe.
Okay, good. Could we do the outer shot, and then Laura will hold the flowers up 5 inches and see if that's and closer to me. Closer to me, like it. All the way. all the
So,
way out,
so
so we
if
see
you're
that.
out, oh, I see, there's more light on the, yeah, I
There's
mean,
more what?
there's a little more light on the plant now, I see. Just on the upper
Yeah,
leaf.
we put light on the plant, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it would be. Could you go all the way out to show the other shot? So that would look good on me when I'm close up with that little plant right there. And then when we're both talking like this, then the plant's right here. So would you not recommend it for that?
It doesn't matter. I think it would be fine. But putting it in the exact center didn't look
Yeah.
good to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah, but I do like the bright yellow. It's really lovely. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just curious that when Lucinda has a partner up front, where would the flower bed be?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
If Lucinda has a partner up front, where would the flower be then?
You could just put it, so let's say Lucinda had this yellow jacket on. And I would probably put it on, see how it's, if you look how it's positioned under the logo right now. Yeah, okay, just like that feels balanced to me, even though it's not symmetrical. That's, I would position it right there.
Could you come sit over
Or,
here, Annabelle, and take my things off Peggy's chair? So here's what it looks like with 2 people. Thank you. You can just throw it on there. It doesn't anywhere.
yeah, actually the light on that plant is already looking better. You know,
The green plant?
yeah, I could see it now.
Just quickly, just give it to her and would someone sit down?
Okay, so at that point, what I would do, so Lucinda, if you had that yellow jacket on, I would put the orchids on the other side, so to balance out the yellow color. Same position. A little bit more. Yeah, like that. Mhm.
Okay. And can you sit down where Peggy is? That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. So now my eye is kind of going, I see the plant, I see your yellow jacket, I see the flower, I see the logo. I could see where Peggy would sit. It seems balanced.
It seems balanced. Okay.
Yeah.
And then go straight in on me now, please. But I thought you said for me not to wear this yellow jacket, but yeah. Okay. That's kind of nice because it shows a little bit of the orchid right there.
Yeah.
And then go all the way in.
Actually, I like the yellow jacket. I didn't care what the lighting needs to be adjusted.
Ah, okay.
I like the yellow jacket on you a lot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're getting closer,
we're
right?
getting closer.
Okay.
Your skin looks good, and
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
more light on your hair. Definitely want to get more light on your hair.
Okay, more light. Okay, we've got a couple days to get more light, so that's good.
Okay. Any other questions at this moment?
Peggy, anything you have curiosity about the studio? Like what color should Peggy have on? for example?
Exactly, that was, yeah, exactly. Because what color? I don't think I should, I don't have a yellow jacket, but you know, like what do you suggest for our colors? For myself, if we're both together?
Okay, hold on. So I have this color palette. This is actually for a client of mine who's blonde. So give me just, so can you see this like tealy color is a good color for both of you?
That's pretty.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice color since you also both have very similar color hair.
We go to the same woman.
Okay.
Let me show you, because my closet's right here, so I can get I can show you a jacket. Tell me, I don't know if I have a lot of solid.
So a brighter blue would be very nice. I would, definitely solid colors. I would, do you ever wear like I don't know if you could see this. It's kind of a rosy, pinky, salmony color. I know you.
I don't-
different-
Peggy, why don't you get your blue sweater jacket and see what that looks like? Show her what that looks like. Amy, you look great where you are. You look great. I think you actually, this is one of the best shots I've seen of you.
Well, I've adjusted I've got a new camera, which may be part of it. Otherwise, I will stay in this office outside of the airport forever.
So one of the things that I'm a big proponent of for, if possible, depending upon where you are, if you could, depending upon how important your call is. So if you're sitting in let's call it a WeWork right now, could be something else. Ideally, one of the things I really like to do is to get interest here and here. So it kind of acts a little bit like a tic-tac-toe, kind of. And so I'm just putting this out here. If possible, if there was a plant that you can borrow, that you could put down here, just for a little bit of interest, so you don't have a solid white wall behind you. If you could, again,
A traveling plant, Amy.
A traveling plant. Well, I mean, what I'm really, when I'm in rooms that have that, I definitely do that. But do you have any ideas for small items that could, because sometimes I'm in a space that does have furniture in it or does have plants and I can move things over, no problem. But any ideas for when I am just like, this is just a little white space, there's nothing here. So, I mean, I was trying to think what I could easily throw in my suitcase that I could put right here. When I'm at home, I do have a plant right here. I have like a flower.
Right. It's almost like we need like little paste on the wall,
Exactly.
Paste on artwork.
It's actually not a bad idea. Like something I could,
right. Something that, or that you could just like not even Velcro, but like pop on the wall, with one of those removables, stretchy things that you could put on the wall.
That's actually not a bad idea. Something I could tape to the wall. I kind of like that because a plant, I'm probably not going to be able to put a plant in my suitcase, but I could maybe bring something with me.
Why not an inflatable plant, Amy?
I was thinking about that, but they also have the glue that you can take on and off, and you can just carry with you and put it in back of the whatever you're gonna put up.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I could put it in a book and then put it up.
Shelley, is this an opportunity to have our custom design background? And does it work better if it's a blank background like Amy has, or does she carry a portable green sheet that she can do and then tape the green sheet up to make it more amenable to the Zoom background?
A portable green sheet, how would you put it up? That's the question.
Tape.
Yeah, that's,
But does the question I have is, does the green background help with a fake background, or it doesn't make much difference?
well, if you have a solid white background, you're okay as well. You could do the virtual background if you've got a solid white background.
Right.
And you don't need the green, ideally, if you're traveling, you don't need a green screen. If you're traveling, if you have a solid white background like you have right now.
Could you try a virtual background, Amy?
Yeah,
Just put anything up.
That's what I'm in the middle of trying to do right now. So talk amongst yourselves and I'll be
While,
back in a moment.
while Amy's doing that, let me show you, this is one jacket that I do wear.
All right, hold on, let me make you bigger. Lucinda, hold on.
And
Wait a
why
minute.
I do like this is because I can put the microphone in my pocket, which makes the microphone much easier to deal with. I'm
And
serious.
okay, what color is that?
Blue.
Oh, it's blue. Okay. Oh, it's a very cool jacket.
Yes, I like this jacket.
Yeah. And would you wear something white, light,
Yeah.
underneath?
Yep.
That would work. I honestly think a brighter blue. See,
I don't have, I have what I have. So let me show you what else. I would have worn this.
I wouldn't wear that. That's too textured because that's very textured and you have the textured ripple background. I would wear something flat and solid color.
Amy, it's a print. It's a print.
Okay, Amy. You're like going to town here. One of the things I wanted to show everybody on Zoom, just going back to some of the lighting, just Amy reminded me. So let's see, Amy, Carla, Peggy, Lucinda, you're not going to be able to do this. If you go onto your Zoom settings, Peggy, I want to show you something. If you go onto the bottom left corner where you have the stop video icon, there's the little up arrow. Click on the up arrow. This is actually very good for Richard to know as well. Click on the up arrow and then click on video settings. You'll get you'll come up in a box. Underneath, there's some things that you could check off. Make sure touch up my appearance is checked off. And
Checked off.
yeah. So it's blue. You've checked it. And then there should be a slider. And you might want to play with it. What that does, it actually, Carol, for you as well, and everybody on the call, it actually blurs everything, but it's like a little bit of an instant facelift. It kind of takes out some of the wrinkles, but you have to be careful because it blurs everything. But it's very nice. It's nice on your skin. Underneath that is a line that says adjust for low light. Oh, okay, Carla, you've got it. So there's auto and manual. Put it on manual, and then you'll have a slider that you can slide back and forth. So Peggy, yeah. So which already helps with your light on your face.
Yeah.
And so like Carla, I think it's a little bright right now. You'd want to tone it down a little bit. But the reason I'm showing you this is because early morning meetings, late evening meetings, or if Richard's in the UK, it's nighttime for him, you'll want to, this is like your new best friend. You almost don't even need additional lighting on the side, because what it does, it doesn't just light up your face, it lights up everything in your room. But if you have, so sometimes when it was in the middle of winter and I was on a 4 o'clock, 4:30 call, my room is getting darker, 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 darker by the minute. And so I would tweak it up, add a little more light. And by adding the light and being cognizant of it, it's less distracting, you know, by having constant light, as opposed to, say, if Amy and I were on a call and all of a sudden it's getting dark in her room, I might be thinking, wow, it's getting dark in her room. Wow, I wonder if I should say something. In the meantime, you're thinking, you're not paying attention to what she's saying. And you're just, you know, you're distracted with how dark it's getting. So this is something just to keep in mind. You have this ability, this tool to adjust the light in your box.
That's great.
I have a question. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Just a couple quick questions. Should I go close the shades downstairs to see what that does?
Oh, if you could do that, that'd be great.
Okay, all right, let me
Hey,
see.
Peggy, before you do that, let me just tell you what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about getting behind the desk. I just was thinking picking up your computer
Yeah,
and moving it like this, nothing else. And we can see what the light does on your face and see if when you do, or if you do, or you get that stand that Shelley's talking about, we see if that's worth it. Okay? So
let
just
me
pick
put
up
the
your
shades
computer.
down. Let me put the shades down, right?
No.
So
Not for
before you-
this one. Before you do that,
Yeah,
just pick up your computer, turn it around. We want to see the light on your face because we could get you a
around.
stand like,
How will I turn
like
it?
this.
Turn it around. I'm not clear what you're saying. Turn it around. I'm
You
looking at
just
it.
pick it up,
up
pick
the
up your
laptop.
computer,
Yeah,
pick up your computer like this.
yeah,
You're at the desk, pick it up.
yeah.
Move you and the computer, just go like that.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha.
do a 180.
I
Do a
gotcha.
180. There you go.
Now sit down.
Well, I gotta change the. turn the
See,
chair
that to
around.
me looks 110,000% better.
Big percentage.
That's a big percentage, yeah. Yeah, now you got your ring light in the back, but you'll turn that ring light off.
Right.
And then, see, that looks beautiful to me, as
Yeah.
long as there's no, you might have to put the shades down to get the glare out of your glasses, but you don't have to turn the desk around. Like Shelley said in the beginning, just get a platform
Yeah.
for
Like
your
a little,
computer.
you get a tiny little folding table.
Well, and I see that the ring light, is it on a floor stand?
Yes,
Okay,
Oh,
so you
good.
could always bring that for additional lighting.
yeah,
You know, bring it around. But that was my thought, you still have your desk, but if you're on an important Zoom call, but you might want to like put a little piece of art on the wall, what would be currently over your right shoulder.
Yeah.
Kind of like Carla has this piece of art over her right shoulder.
Yep.
Yes. And at this point, if you do this, I would not close the shades downstairs because you still need a little more light on your face.
okay.
Yeah. Can you move your ring light over just real quick? Just like move it in front.
Now the thing about if you put it kind of like, but like a TV stand of sort, you might also want to get one of these. Hold on, I'm going to show you.
Much better, Peg.
I might
We
as well
have
just-
one. We
I might
have
have
one
to
of
just
these.
pull out the desk because this,
Yeah.
I got it on
Yeah.
my knee. I got it on my,
But Peggy, we might just give you one of these. If you like this plastic podium, you can take it
oh,
home
I
today.
gotcha. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
And
there's
put the
also,
podium right there, so you've got it right
That
here.
is a great idea. Okay, good.
and there's also, even a laptop stand, which are
No,
great.
I have that. I have that.
Okay, you have
In
that.
fact, it's on it right now on my knee.
Oh, okay. Just because you want that camera at
Yeah.
eye level, so it looks like you're just sitting, looking eye to eye, having a conversation.
Yeah, Lucinda, I think that's a good solution is the, yeah.
The
good.
podium.
Okay, that's good.
You just take the podium home.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah, so
I have a
like
question.
the light on
Great.
your face looks really nice right now. I
Okay,
would,
good.
I would though get a light for the right side as well. Maybe you need a second light so that
Yeah.
you can again have the light cross over.
Yeah.
But even your skin tone looks better.
Great. Okay, good. Well, also because I also adjusted those things you just said,
Okay,
the lighting.
Yeah.
The lighting, that helped. All right, I am going to turn it around because it's a little untenable on my knee here.
okay.
Good. That's what I was talking about, Peggy. Nothing other than that.
Oh
in
my God, I
text
thought you were
to
telling me to move everything. I go, I can't. Okay, good.
No, I said, that's not what I'm saying. You move the
Yeah,
thing.
good.
Yeah.
All right, let me just show you another thing. Let's go back to the little stop video icon. This is for emergency use. Click on the up arrow, and this time click on choose video filter.
By the way, you guys, look at Peggy right now, and it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day what she looks like when the light's at her face rather than at her back. Okay,
And
I just want to
and
point
it's
that out, Shelley.
And it's the kind of, you have soft light coming in through that condo, and that soft light is I mean, if it was a different
Gorgeous.
kind of, yeah, but that it's gorgeous light on your face.
Yeah, like I said, like even her skin tone just all looked really,
Yeah.
really nice.
Good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now where are we going?
Okay, so on the bottom left corner of your stop video icon, click on the up caret, and then click on choose video filter. And then you'll see all these, fun things. So Amy already was playing with the pirate. I quite often do the little Frida Kahlo, but on the bottom right, you see the word studio effects. Click on the studio effects, and another little window will open up to the side.
You can download the package, that's fine.
And here, this is for emergency use. Like, oh shoot, I forgot to put some lipstick on. You could put some lipstick on. If you click on a color of the lipstick, a slider appears. And if you slide it, it'll take that color and darken the lipstick.
I have permanent lipstick on my Zoom.
That's
Do
it.
you?
Yeah, yeah.
What color? Wow, that's a riot.
I
Yeah.
have the brown rose, and it's on a kind of a lighter thing. So whatever I have, it just darkens it. It's so natural.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like Carla, one of the big things is I'm a big proponent that, you could either see like in terms of the makeup, which would be like the 5th step of my Zoom makeover. So you either see the rims of your glasses or your eyebrows. So there's also these eyebrows that you can add.
I have a question. What color would you recommend for me? I have right on now lavender. Is that too light?
Lavender?
It's what it's called.
Oh, well, the lighting is so poor on you right now.
Okay, you can't tell. Okay, all right, but that's good. That's good to see. Okay.
Can you go back? I couldn't get in at first. So where are
Amy,
you going?
Amy, that's you.
Amy, work is
real-
fun, right, Abe?
Shelley, could you just go back to the lipstick and all that? I was trying to get in and I couldn't get in.
Okay.
Amy has a mustache on her face. I have a mustache on my eyes.
Okay, so the stop video icon, click on the up caret.
That I'm in the settings, I'm in background and filters.
Okay, click on video filters
Video.
under your picture.
Yes. Mhm.
Then on the bottom right corner, do you have in blue lettering studio effects?
Yes.
Click on that.
And then I should download it.
Oh, do you need to download it? Maybe you need to download it because your Zoom hasn't been updated. So if you were to just click on studio effects, another little window should open to the right. But if that doesn't occur, then you need a little update on your Zoom setting for your Zoom.
Okay, it just opened up.
So you see the eyebrows and the mustaches and the lipsticks.
Right, so what am I doing with my eyebrows?
Well, you could put a little bit of lipstick on, just again. So if you click on a color, then you'll have the slider and it could go light to dark. So Peggy, it looks like you're playing with some lipstick over there.
I am.
So anyhow, I just wanted to show this to you because sometimes, you're like, you get on a call and you're like, wow, I really look washed out. Maybe I need a little more lip color. So Carla, that you can see you've got a little more lip color now. But just a little word of warning to the wise. If you put eyebrows on, or sometimes if you move too fast, your eyebrows
Will follow.
they don't catch up with you quite as fast. So just, just letting you know, or I was working 2 weeks ago with a woman who had long blonde hair, but no eyebrows. So we put in some eyebrows and it literally, the eyebrow went over her hair. Anyhow, I just wanted to show you that as a tool that you can use, also for fun.
They don't have, and why do they not have blush? I would think blush
I don't know.
would be another good one.
We're gonna get to blush. I have my Shelly tricks. Any questions?
I have a question before you go on.
Yes.
So obviously, I'm not going to use San Francisco. I just pulled one of the standards on Zoom. I know where to find plenty of other backgrounds, but my question is, this is against a white wall. About 6 months ago, if you did it against a white wall, you would get all sorts of you sort of still do. See that?
Yeah, but it's not so bad. It's not.
But it's better. It's better than it used to be. So is this sufficient? Can I use a background on a white wall? I mean, is it now at a point where it's not pixelating?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, a little bit, but not nearly as much as it used to.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to be talking, I don't, it's not that bad.
It's not
because
that bad.
It's solid.
Yeah. So I could just find there's so many great backgrounds. I could just get a great background and use that when I'm traveling and know not to move around a lot.
Right. So just
and that's what we're talking. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting, but that's what they were talking about in the beginning about having a Lumeri background that they would make for us. Yeah, that we could all have when we're in a situation like that.
Yeah, because that definitely handles, because it's so much better than even 6 months ago, as long as you're not doing this kind of thing.
Right.
But so much better for all of us when we're traveling, then it just doesn't even matter where you are, as long as you can get yourself light and white background.
What's the matter with the movement with the backgrounds?
Watch my hand.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be 6 months ago, it was much worse.
The
You get
Matrix.
halos around your
I
head.
know, but here's the thing. How do you be animated? Then it means you're not moving. That's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, it's very clear, unless you have a really fabulous background that maybe looks like a room, which I think is great. And if you do choose to have a room, you want to make sure that the perspective is the same. You don't want to, I was doing a Zoom makeover with somebody who's a business coach, and he had this very beautiful Italian furniture, like in a living room with big windows, but it looked like he was sitting on the floor. Like, not that he was down here, but the photograph was taken kind of in an up angle. So it looked like he was sitting on the floor with this low Italian furniture up here. So you want to make sure that the perspective is even. Let's see. So, places that you can go to find really nice virtual backgrounds are pixels.com. Or Pixabay, Pixabay, pixabay.com. Also, there's another site called unsplash.com, and they have really nice images if you want to peruse through them for a virtual background of your choice.
And Shelley, we have an exquisite office. It's a loft kind of office, beautiful spaces. I was telling Carol, I would love to have a photo of ourselves in the office, so it looks like we're sitting here in the office and having that. And could you help her with that?
We could talk about it.
Okay.
So
I did have a question. This is Carol, sorry. For a great result with a virtual background, does it depend on the camera itself? If you have a poor camera, you're going to get poorer results? Great cameras get better results?
It's a combination of the camera helps, but actually the green screen is what's ideal.
Gotcha.
For a virtual background. And I do have suggestions of green screens. Like the easiest one is one of these, it's almost like one of these signs that you just pull out of a like a carrying case tube, almost like a vertical sign. And it just pulls right out. And you don't have to have clips, and you don't have to have a whole setup. But there are, I can actually send you the link. I'm gonna go, I'll go to my equipment list. There's a couple different widths. So it seems like most everybody except for Carla has a wider width camera. So you want to make sure that you have the wider width green screen, because otherwise your green screen will have to be immediately behind you. You won't be able to move your chair back, and maybe it'll catch like 7/8 of your Zoom box. So by getting the wider one, it'll cover your entire Zoom box, and you'll be able to move your chair back. So really the green screens are great. You can actually drink your drink and they will not disappear. So
Yeah, thank you.
okay, any questions? So okay, so let's, I wanted to, Carla, just talk to you about your background a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's see, I'm gonna replace the pin on you. So what I would love to see, I love, do you often wear, what colors do you often wear?
White and black.
Okay, you can't wear white in this space. Do you know that? Okay. I mean, I often say no white, no black, but because you're so fair, your hair is light, you've got everything light, you can get away with black, but it probably is a little bit too heavy for you because everything else is so light. Are you planning to hang that picture up?
Yes.
Okay, I would.
Unless you think not, then I don't have to.
I really think it's a great picture for the space. You know, it's really a great piece of art. I'm big on, in Zoom boxes, abstract art, because you see that there's art, but there's nothing to focus on. I would hang it up, but I would hang it really low. You don't even have to have just the whole piece of art showing. I would also move your flowers over to so it's behind your left shoulder. And do you often have flowers?
Yes.
Yeah, I would move them all the way over. Yeah, so you're a little bit
You
down.
could put that thing on the floor, that Sun Argos thing.
I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you, give me a second. I'm just looking for something to show you. Let's see, is it Makeover? For positioning. So here's an example of positioning the artwork. So the woman, this woman, the red is the before, her, and the purple is the afterwards. So see, there's just a little bit of the artwork showing. You don't even necessarily need to have the entire piece of artwork showing. I mean, personally for you, I would actually have it moved, for her, I would move it over a little bit so it's partially off camera. But this is, instead of having anything right behind you, I would have it up and away. And I would, let's see, let me see myself so I can position myself. So even if you have your artwork, so it's like taking up kind of this corner of the space. So,
Okay.
you know, just taking up this corner. Then what'll happen is you'll have your artwork and then you'll have your plant. And again, you'll have this diagonal, like this subliminal line of someplace for them to focus on you. Actually, Carol, do you have a pencil?
I do.
Not Carol, I'm sorry, Carla.
Carla.
Carla, do you have a pencil? Because what
Yes.
I'm thinking, if you hold the artwork up, I'll show you exactly where to, put a little line on the wall.
Amy, are you practicing magic tricks?
I was wondering what you were doing. Okay, Carla, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Hold your painting up and I'll tell you where to put it. And I'll just kind of go up, down, left, right. That's perfect, just right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect left and right, up and down. Okay. Yeah, that's where I would hang it. And I think it's just really simple and elegant. You've got the painting on one side, flowers on the other. You have that integrity. Was that an integrity sign?
That's out.
Good. Yeah, you don't need that. But I would probably have the white flowers are a little bit too bland, although, they're fresh flowers. They look lovely. I would probably aim for maybe a pink and greener flowers with your coloring. And with light green. Yeah. The white is just a little bit, I'd like to be able to see it just a little bit more. Or the other option is bigger, whiter flowers. Just to add a little bit more color, a little bit more green.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. And then in terms of clothing, I would probably stay away from gray. Because, you've got the gray walls, your light, your hair, clothing, I'd stay away from gray. So if people can see all of your torso, so like Amy, you're a great example, you could see all of your torso, they can read more of your nonverbal communication. And one of the things that I'm working on now, I'm working on a new workshop on Zoom fatigue. And just to give you a little bit of heads
They
up.
said they can see your torso, so try doing that.
So women.
No, the close-up shot.
Right, so you do not want the fullest part of your bust at the bottom of the box. So so like Lucinda right now, your fullest part of your bust is at the bottom. So you don't want that because at that point your boobs are physically the closest thing to the camera. They will look bigger. So there, that's a better.
No, not that far. A little closer in, like closer in like this.
Yeah,
Is that better?
That's good. Yeah, but
Okay.
you don't want the fullest part of your bust at the bottom of the Zoom box. But by being able to read your nonverbal
Like this.
communication.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think
good.
that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's less
Relax.
tiring for our eyes. So that's one of the studies. So this new study came out from Stanford a couple weeks ago, and it's a compilation of a number of studies over the last 15, 20 years. And what they were saying is, why are we so Zoom fatigued? Because one of many reasons, but we're having to process so many verbal and nonverbal cues that our brains, like all day long, that our brains are getting overloaded. Another thing that they were talking about was our personal space is about 23 inches, a radius of about 23 inches. So anybody's face that normally comes within that 23-inch range is usually loved ones or family. And all of a sudden, people have their whole Zooms, their whole monitor with people's faces this big right in your face. And it's actually creates stress. So a couple things they were talking about is either move your monitor further away, move your camera further away, or take your entire window, Zoom window, and make it smaller. So people's faces go from being this big to being smaller. And it's just less stress that we process, less verbal cues that you're looking at everybody and all their different movements and they reached
No, we
down.
can erase that.
They reached down to pick up their pen and their cat walked across, and it's easier and calmer. So that's just
Hey, try that for a second. Do your head so it's closer to the top, and so we can see more than your shoulders. By moving your camera.
Who are you talking to?
Peggy.
Oh, so say it again, move it closer or away?
No, move it away and then put your head to the top so you can't see all your fingers, and then do your bust so it's not at the bottom. You're moving mine. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
A little further.
No, that's good position. For Peggy, that's good positioning.
Okay. It's just the head that needs to be closer down. So you're saying if the bust is here, we need to see more of the torso. But if you're up here, you don't need to see the torso?
You want to keep, I often say, like, have the bottom of the box above your nipple line. So that not the fullest part of your bust at the bottom, just over the fullest part. So that
Okay, so when you said see your torso, you didn't mean this part.
Well, part of your torso. For on a Zoom call, I wouldn't. So you in the studio, different concept.
Okay.
If you're going to be, if that camera that's looking at you right now, Lucinda, zooms in even more,
Yeah.
so you just want to be conscious that the bottom of the box is not at the fullest part of your bust.
Okay, do you want to do the in shot or? Oh, okay.
So
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
well, while you're testing with Lucinda, can you just give a sense of what colors would be best for me to wear?
Yeah, I would,
Or consider wearing?
I think anything in the purpley blue family, the teal turquoisey family is really nice for you. I think something in the rosy, I don't know what color it's coming across on your monitor. So this is kind of, rosy colors. Dusty rose would be a beautiful, beautiful color for you. And there's quite a bit of that in the stores these days.
That we've all been to recently, right?
Yeah, all right. So like all of these colors, so this is that, it comes off looking red, but that's too dark for you, I think, but more of a dusty rose. Like these would all be kind of very nice colors for you.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sell those in New York, Carla?
What?
Do they sell that color in New York City?
Yeah, right. So then what about patterns, or I have these favorite button shirts that I love, but I'm going to bring them. Hold on. See if
I was just going to say, why don't you go get them and I'll give you my 2 cents. Let's see, any questions?
Yeah, the cameras, what cameras do you recommend? I notice this camera, you may not be familiar with WebEx, but it has me go very yellow on WebEx, different than Zoom. And I'm on WebEx a lot.
Okay. And what's your camera?
Lucinda, what's that? Do you know the?
Is it the little round one or is
Yeah,
it the
yeah.
square one?
Yeah, all around one.
Yeah, I have two cameras. One, I forget the name of that one.
Could it
It's
be
the one that a lot of people have.
VITADE, VITADE? That's what's on the back of it. But I noticed it is not good on WebEx.
Yeah, it tends to get yellow
Yeah.
on different things. Yeah.
Um,
You should get this second one that I talked to Bill about. Well, let's see what you have to say, Shelley. That'd be great.
I'm gonna put this in the chat for everybody. Why did that not go in the chat? This, oh, it went in twice. So this, the Logitech webcam, the C925E is a really good
That's
camera. It, you know, it has the zoom in and out, and everybody is happy with it.
That's the one I have, Peg. That one. That's the one I use most of the time. And then I have the other one as a backup. And also if I want to be yellow.
You want to be yellow?
You know,
I mean,
so
there's certain places. The other one has a much more muted kind of a cool tone. The camera that you're talking about, Shelley, has a cool tone to it. And some places it just looks too blue. And then I put the other camera on.
oh, I see. So, you know, depending upon what lighting you have, you know, you're looking a little blue, you know.
That's great.
Put some yellow Post-its over your lights. You know,
That's
you're looking
great.
a little bit of little yellow. Put some fuchsia Post-its over your lights. And it really
That's
just
great.
kind of like, here's that light of mine with absolutely no Post-its over it. You know, it looks like I've got this horrible spotlight. But by the
Yeah.
time I add a pink Post-it, a yellow Post-it, oh, maybe I'll put another yellow Post-it.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's great.
My skin tone looks more natural. And it's
Fabulous.
cheap and easy.
Okay, Carol, you're going to be sending Post-its out to everybody?
Yes, got it. On
Okay.
order.
That's my favorite part so far is the Post-its.
All right, here's another
I
light.
do. I think it's great. I think it's great.
All right, here's another lighting tip. So so Peggy, you have a ring light in front of you. And so I got this, you know, kind of not quite a year ago, but you know, it's a COVID light. It's a 4-inch ring light. But one of the things I do is I put lined, well, I don't know if you can see that, it's actually just kind of lined cheap notebook paper. Because what it does is it diffuses the light. It doesn't, it takes away that spotlighty feel. So just this little, I've got another light here, but if I put this back on,
And you said that's just a piece of like computer paper?
it's actually thinner than computer paper. It's just like cheap notebook paper. Because you don't want it too thick. You know, you want it
Got it.
really thin so that the light can come through. So if I turn that light on, you could see off, on, just that little light. But, you know, they all have like warm, neutral, cool. So
Yeah.
another way that you can control the yellowness if you're on WebEx is, so for example, this is the warm light on my face. That must be the neutral light, and that's the cool light. So it turns it a little bit blue. So you can just see warm, neutral, cool. So if you get on, if you're on a WebEx call, you know, again, it's easier to look at you if you feel natural. So by adjusting your light, you know, a tweak here and there before you jump, you know, before the call starts, it won't be as distracting. And, you know, I have my lights close. You can see I'm actually touching my light here. And if I just push it right out of the camera, it's really close. You know, you know, for, you know, sitting at a desk with a Zoom call, you want those lights pretty close to you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So I've been dealing with an issue that I think is a little bit better now, but not perfect. And that is, I have a Logitech. I can't, it doesn't have the number on it. So I don't know if it's the same as yours. I'm guessing not. And it clips on the top of my laptop. And as a result of clipping on the top of my laptop, my placement in the screen is not as centered and full as I would like. If I take it off, the quality won't be as good, but I'll be much better centered in the screen. And so I do all sorts of things to try and get myself more centered, but it's very tough. Is there a better camera setup than one that clips on top of your screen so that you are more properly centered?
I mean, you could get a tripod stand and put the camera on the back side,
Mhm.
you know, in this way, but you know, you need to be very careful at that point that the camera isn't then looking down on top of your head.
Yeah.
You know, so how big is your screen? You know, is it a monitor? Is it your laptop?
Mhm.
You know, you just really want to make sure that camera is straight in front. If not a teeny tiny bit higher,
Yep.
by putting it a tiny bit higher, it forces your eyes to open up a little bit.
Yep.
So your eyes are wider as opposed to looking down, which I kind of call the puppy dog look, you know, that,
Yeah.
you know, which you see all the time.
Yeah, see, I think what happens when you attach a camera to the top of the laptop is I can get good eye placement when I'm talking and looking into the camera, but the minute I look at my screen and everybody's pictures on the screen is now necessarily that much lower down. So when I glance at the screen to look at anybody, now my eyes are going to be looking too
Looking
closed or
down.
pop. Exactly.
Right.
And that happens less, I think, when you're using the camera on the laptop itself, because there's just less of a bridge between where your camera is and people's faces. So maybe I'll try what you're saying as a camera on a separate
Tripod.
But hold on, because how would that fix it? I'm not clear, because if it's either going to be on the right, you mean, I don't know how that would make a difference.
My camera, by virtue of how it attaches to the top of the laptop,
Yeah.
is about this high above the laptop.
Yeah.
So which, is enough of a gap that makes it look like my eyes are virtually closed when I look at people's faces on the screen.
So where is she suggesting you put the camera then? To the side? But then you're going to be looking to the side.
No, I wouldn't put it to the side. I'd put it behind.
And lower down so that you could
Right.
close at least most of that gap.
Right. Right. So, you know, you don't have to see the actual camera. You just need that hole, you know, where the
Oh, I got you. I got
camera
you.
hole is
I got you.
right. You know, and also if you're using your laptop, you know, you can also raise your laptop a little bit, you know, and another trick is, again, you know, take your Zoom window instead of the entire opening it up to the entire monitor, if you're using a monitor, and shrink that Zoom screen down. So when your eyes are looking at the person in the bottom right corner, they're only looking here and not down here, you know.
Not all the
So,
way down.
you know, hypothetically, like Lucinda, you're right now in my bottom left corner. If I had my screen the entire size of my monitor, I'd be looking at you down here while you're talking to me. But because I zoom it in close, now you're kind of right here on my monitor. So kind of bringing things in a little bit, even though it's so nice to be able to, you know, get everybody all spread out if you have a lot of people.
And Shelley, you know, given we do a lot of programs, it's one thing being here in the studio and another thing when I'm at home or traveling like I have been, I put a monitor, a big monitor. I even use the TV screen in the hotel room,
Yeah.
TV screen like this, and have a tripod with the camera on it that's right in the middle of the TV screen. So when I'm looking at the camera, I'm really in my periphery of vision looking at everybody.
Right.
And that's easy to do. And then the computer's over here and it's going off the computer, but the TV's hooked in and the camera's hooked in on a tripod.
Yeah.
And
Right into
Lucinda,
this.
where's the tripod? It's below it, below the TV or below the screen?
It's right in the middle of the TV screen.
Oh, got it. But then are people blocked?
No,
Not really.
because they only see what's coming from the camera.
No. Some people are blocked from us.
Oh, from her visual.
Not very much because the camera's so tiny compared to the TV screen.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's good.
Right. So
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't want to do that on your monitor. It would take up too much space in front of your
Right.
monitor.
Right.
Right. So that's why sometimes having like a tripod just on the back side, you know,
That's good.
it's that camera is still as close to you as possible,
Mhm.
but you could still see everybody on your monitor. And another little trick that I sometimes do when I have the camera and excuse me, this is so sometimes it changes every couple months. Like right now, I have this little teeny weeny tiny piece of yellow Post-it, and sometimes it's fuchsia, sometimes it's yellow, and I put it right next to my camera. So subliminally, I've got this bullseye of color that my eye knows where to look. So it's almost like a bee, who's going, the flowers, the bright colored flowers, they know where the bright colored flowers are, they know where to go. Similar concept. So let's see, looks like we lost Amy. And
Carla and Amy had to leave. Shirley, we're at the top of the hour.
oh, we
Yeah,
are.
I do too, Carol. Thank you so much, Shelley. Appreciate it so much.
You are
you
so
can-
welcome.
Thank you.
If you're interested, I have a little bit of time. If anyone, I can just kind of show you a couple makeup tricks.
Okay, hold on. I got to make sure, like, this call may or may not have canceled. It did. I'm good.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm with you.
all right. So it's good to know. All right, so I'm gonna just show you.
So we're gonna do what we can.
All right, so I'm gonna just share my screen. So I have like 4 bullseyes to kind of create a little bit of like a bullseye so people can look at your face. And so notice I'm a big fan that you really should wear some lipstick. By putting some lipstick on, you're creating a bullseye that people can watch your lips as you speak. It's kind of the bonus over men who don't wear lipstick. But on this particular slide, I just want to show you, see the little red lines, and this is what I'm going to show you. It's an optical illusion, but to create higher cheekbones and slimmer jawline, I'm going to just show you your, street, if you put blush on to go out on the street, you put it on the apple of your cheek. Well, the camera picks up white and light first. And so that brings it closer to the camera. So you don't want to make your cheekbone with a darker color. You want to keep it white. So you want to go around it. And so I'll show you so this is just an example of this woman that I worked with. We did half of her face, but you could see on the right side, her cheekbone looks higher and her jawline looks slimmer. So I'm going to just show you. So kind of my little makeup trick. So this is really, so I'm going to turn my face. So I have no cheekbones at all. But what I did is I create the illusion of a cheekbone. I literally like kind of drew a little circle around what is my cheekbone. So it's an optical illusion. So you can see it looks like I have like way too much blush on.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't go on the street like this, although it looks really excessive on this. But what I do is I take my blush brush and I squish it so it's a little bit harder. So I can actually draw like a little semicircle around my cheekbone. So it looks like now I have this cheekbone, which again, the camera picks up whatever is white and light, and it brings it to the foreground. And anything that's darker recedes back. So it looks like I've got, I'm not doing this on camera. I'm, maybe doing a little this. So that's kind of my little cheekbone trick. And I do the same thing on my jawline. So you have, the front of your face, you have under your chin and your neck. So to give a little bit of, get rid of that uniface, that unineck look, I start on my jowls and I draw a whole new line. And I take combination blush and contour. It doesn't matter because people can't see the color. They only see the light and the dark. So I just literally draw a whole new line right on the angle. And I go over my jowl and I go around it, over it. And then I kind of pull it underneath. So I'm shading this part. So to get a little bit of differentiation between the front of your face and your neck.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
So you don't have this kind of like a unineck look.
Good, that's good.
It's really subtle, but like again here, just to show you, now that you could see on the right side, you could actually see her jawline looks slimmer.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
And her cheekbone looks higher.
Yeah.
It's just it's an optical illusion.
That's great.
And again, by putting lipstick on, people can watch your lips as you speak. You're creating a bullseye. I was just with somebody yesterday who said he was deaf in a little bit in both ears. And he says Zoom is sometimes challenging for him because he needs to do a lot of lip reading. And especially if we have, there's like little nano glitches where the sound and the visual aren't coming into everybody's home or office, simultaneously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of a disconnect. It's easier to read lips if there's a bullseye.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, good.
So that's my.
I love them. They're great. Okay.
And you've got this on recording, and so.
Do we, Shelley? Do we have you recorded it, right? Do we? You'll send us a link to download that.
Yes, I'll send it.
Okay. Everything. I mean, great tips, really.
I'm going to get off, ladies. Thank you, Shelley. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Peggy.
Welcome. Nice meeting you, Peggy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was a bit of a tough crowd. Maybe it was Monday morning.
Well, that's okay. It was exactly what your office is: in the studio, not at home, in a different place.
Yeah.
This one's at home. This one's on a different time zone.
Yeah, and I didn't know Peggy was not going to be in her place, because that was the most important thing to get going today, because Peggy and Lucinda often do, Peggy's in her Denver office delivering, no, that's the opposite way, but she's often in her Denver office on Zoom calls. And I wish she'd been in that space. And all the work that we did with her, it was really specific to her bedroom, and yeah. So I think I'm disappointed that she wasn't in her space. And then Amy, I think we got her going in the right direction.